Hi, this is Lisa Rangel with Chameleon Resumes, the premier executive resume writing company, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about how to understand recruiting when you're a job seeker. I'm a strong believer as an ex-recruiter that knowing how recruiting works can help you be a better job seeker. Now, nothing's a magic elixir, nothing's perfect. So again, if you're looking for some easy button stuff, turn the video off because this isn't going to be it. Recruiting is complicated, even if others make it look easy. And regardless of the job that you're looking for, it can be a different process for every person. It can be a different process for every candidate. But here's the thing, take the effort to figure out how it works so you can be a better job seeker. So how do you do that? So the first step you can do is go to popupcareerchat.com. I monthly have a recruiting guest or tangentially related to recruiting guest, and we talk about their perspective on how hiring works, what they are seeing in the marketplace, typically at an executive level, but I've had guests that have done recruiting in all different types of industries, all different types of levels and disciplines. And you can learn something from each person. And if you go to popupcareerchat.com, it's free, and you can log on for the next or register for the next one that I'm having. Second is follow recruiters in your field. Follow recruiters in your field on LinkedIn, as well as any other channel where your industry and discipline congregates. For most people that might be LinkedIn, but depending on what you do and what level you're going for and where you live, that could be, other social media channels. It can be some local channels, like Nextdoor or something like that. It can also be just local in-person networking events that can be really relevant to what you're trying to target. And then the third activity to do is unfollow anyone that says there is one way to find a job. I'm going to be quiet to just let that settle in for a minute. Unfollow anyone that says there's just one magic way to find a job. Because I'm going to tell you personally, I have found a job through social media, both me reaching out to someone and someone reaching out to me. I have landed a job just reaching out to my network directly. I have landed a job responding to an ad, not to date myself, but print as well as online, so a few different ways. And I'm telling you that every way can work. It's a matter of coming up with a strategy for what you're trying to target, seeing what your target hiring manager is looking for, where they congregate, either online or in person or both. And it could be reaching out to them in person. It could be reaching out to them through a conference if you tend to see that they're a speaker or that they are attending something. Maybe they announce that they're attending something and you also go. So the key is to realize that whatever your target job is will have a target audience, and you need to craft your outreach and your messaging and your process based on reaching that particular person. That could vary based on the job you're going for, the company you're targeting, where you are in your career. What worked for you once before may not work now, and vice versa. So you have to be open to trying different things and listen to the recruiters that advocate for that. Because recruiters, while I adore them and I love them, and I've been one, I was a recruiter for 13 years before I started Chameleon, sometimes a recruiter can be very, very limited by the fact of what they do and the people they serve and the clients they have or the candidates that they recruit for. And they may make the mistake of thinking that the way they do it is how it works for everyone. And I'm here to tell you that's not the case. I've recruited for different types of industries, different people, and it can vary, and even within the same company, you might get in through a job posting on one role, and you might get in because you contacted a hiring manager directly on another role. So the key is to try different things, come up with a strategy, but try different things and see what works for you. And then use guidance in order to do that if you find that you're struggling. So I'm inspired by the phrase, I think it's Stephen Covey, 7 habits, as well as part of the St. Francis prayer. Even though I'm not necessarily a religious person, I think that's a beautiful prayer. Seek to understand rather than be understood. And, by attending my pop-up career chat, following different recruiters, learn what recruiting is and what they do and what their struggles are and how as a candidate can make their life easier in applying, and learn how to apply better and reach out better. So again, seek to understand recruiting rather than be understood as a job seeker. I can tell you, you'll get more flies with honey that way, and you will find that recruiters will find you refreshing. So I hope this helps. And I'm glad you're here with me today. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you want to reach out to me and you have any questions, you can go to lr@chameleonresumes.com or DM me. I do my best to reply to each and every DM, email, or comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my LinkedIn channel or my LinkedIn page, hit subscribe or follow. Feel free to share this with anyone who you think will benefit from this message that I've had here today. And if you like the video, I'm going to ask you to like it. Thank you so much for being with me here today. Make sure I see you at the next pop-up career chat. Again, go to popupcareerchat.com, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.